Okay, so jumping right into it, these are all the things I usually use to clean my brushes. Hi, these are my nasty hands and my nasty fingers. So normally I would do this in my bathroom just because I have a sink and I have constant supply of warm water, but today for the purpose of this video we will just be using a bowl. This is filled with lukewarm water. So I take my mat and I submerge it into the bowl of water, and on the back of the mat there's actually squishy little suction cups, so I just push those in and make sure that the mat is secure. It's not going to be moving while I'm trying to clean my brushes because that's a pain in the butt. Okay, so there's that setup. And then here in this little black pot is the soap that I will be using today. This is actually an old Lush container that I have filled with the new Lush soap bars, the shampoo bars. So when I went to cosmetology school, they told us that a shampoo was a good alternative to clean your brushes if you did not have brush cleanser available, and I've never used it. I actually believe that shampoo would be better because it's conditioning. So I'm going to be using this today, and I will show you the process and how I use it. So we're going to move the bowl towards me a little bit, and I'm going to put the soap right there. Now I will show you all the brushes we are going to be cleaning today. This is going to take quite a long time. Here we have all my eye brushes. These are mostly blending brushes, crease brushes, fluffy brushes, things like those. I try to keep these all together in one pot because, as I said in my previous video, detailing eye work is probably my favorite makeup to do. So in this jar we have some Sephora brushes, we have some Body Shop brushes, we have Sigma, we have, oh, I just picked up that one. We have MAC, we have NYX, there's some LUSH Cosmetics in here, some Morphe, things like that. So those are the eye brushes, we'll be doing those. And then also, these are my smaller, more detailed brushes for my eyes. These are like smudging brushes, liner brushes, flat top brushes, stuff like that. And then I also stick my brushes that I use to apply my mask in here. So those are very gross. Those will be getting cleaned today. In here we have mostly their brushes that came with eyeshadow palettes. So this is the Urban Decay Vice brush. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush that came with the Prism palette, I believe. This is the Urban Decay Naked Heat dual-ended brush. We have some unicorn brushes that I got from Nico Pro. All sorts of brushes in there. And then this is my big pot of face brushes. I bought this giant ceramic, I think it's actually a plant pot, and it holds all my large face brushes for right now. So in here we have Real Techniques, Sigma, Morphe, my new Ann Stories bronzer brush, lots of different brushes. There's some Sephora in there. So those are all my brushes that will be being cleaned today. So for now, I'm going to keep them in the pot right here because they are nasty and I don't want to lay them on my clean towel yet. This is where I will be laying the brushes as they're cleaned. So I'm not going to play any music or anything throughout this because I find, and myself I can relate, that the sounds of washing brushes is actually quite relaxing. So just sit back and relax. I'll speed up the footage a little bit, but other than that, we're just going to have some nice clean brushes at the end of all this. Okay, so as you can see, the water is getting quite dirty. I've got about 25 to 30 brushes done. So I will rinse off my mat, put it next to my brushes to dry, and I will change the water. I will be right back. Okay, so now we have our clean water again. Now this is why I said it would be easier to do it in a sink because it would just be a matter of pulling the plug out, emptying the sink, and refilling the water. But I'm doing this for video purposes, and also if my sink wasn't as easily accessible or it was small, then this helps a lot of people. So normally I get a lot more brushes done than this without having to change my water, but it has been a while. They are quite soiled. I've done quite a few glam looks with my brushes, which results in them being, you know, heavily soiled, heavily covered, so they require a little extra love. Now, we'll get back to it. Okay, last one of the small brushes. Yay, it's empty. Look, there's money in it. Now we'll move on to the more messier, smaller detail brushes. That's another one empty. Okay, now we're going to move on to our large face brushes. And they are probably some of the most soiled brushes. So I'll do a few and then I'll empty my water one more time and then that should be enough. It's gonna get pretty gross though. Okay. I'm going to change the water. Okay, our water is clean. I'm going to reinsert our little mat. Not that many brushes left now. And we're done. Yay! Okay, now one of the last steps I do is I take a clean microfiber cloth and I get my larger brushes and I just give them a squeeze because they definitely hold more water than the smaller ones. And I also hold the barrel of the brush and just slide my cloth down, and it just makes sure that all the bristles are going in the direction that they should be going. So I will also do that quickly. It's this very cheap Morphe brush that seems to be losing the pigment that's in the bristles. I never have used this in anything black, and the paint is just coming right off. Another brush that by Morphe will probably do the same thing. The towel is getting quite wet now. This is another Morphe one. No, no discoloration out of that one. Strange. That one's got some bristle loss. I've had these quite a while, so I'm very surprised that they still fall out. And that's it. Let's take a look. These are the finished brushes. Nice and clean. Now they just have to dry.